In this video, we will learn about tones and semitones. Now, when we learned about sharps and flats, we learned that a semitone is the closest distance between two notes on a piano. So if we were to start on a D, and we'll write that D, it's our D above middle C. If we were to write that on the staff, if we were asked to write a note that is a semitone higher, we would go up to this key. Now, do we write a note that is a D sharp or an E flat? Remember that these two note names are called enharmonic equivalents because they're different names for the same pitch. Well, we're going to clarify which note you write right now. There are two types of semitones. The first type is called a chromatic semitone. It is where you go up a semitone but keep the name of the note the same. So in that case, we would go up from a D to a D sharp. So writing a note that is a chromatic semitone above a D, we would write a D sharp in. Let's take a look at a couple more examples. If we were to start on an E and go up a chromatic semitone from an E, we would write an E sharp. Now that note is also an F, but in chromatic semitones we go up the semitone but keep the note name the same. So we'd write that in as an E sharp. Let's look at a couple more examples. So if we were to write in the A, and that's A below middle C, and we were asked to go down a chromatic semitone, we would go down to an A flat. We move down the note, but we keep the note name the same. Alright, let's do one more. If you were to start on a G flat, and you were asked to go down a chromatic semitone, you would actually be going down to a G double flat. So we're adding two flats. We're moving down we're moving down a semitone from a G flat, but we have to keep the note name the same. So we can't say it's an F, even though it'll sound the same. We have to say it is a G double flat. Okay, so that is a chromatic semitone. Now we're going to talk about diatonic semitones. A diatonic semitone is where you move up a semitone, but you change note names. Okay, let's look at an example. If we were to start on middle C, and we were asked to go up a diatonic semitone, we would arrive at a D flat. We go up the semitone, but we change the note name. We go up by one note name in the musical alphabet. Okay? So let's look at another example. Let's start on an F, and we're going to go down a diatonic semitone. So if we start on an F and we go down a diatonic semitone, the note we're going to write in is an E. We go down the semitone and we change the note name. Okay, if we were to start on a B flat, if we're asked to go down a diatonic semitone, the answer would be an A. We go down the semitone, which is the closest distance between two notes, but we go down by one letter name in the musical alphabet. We go from a B flat to an A. Alright, let's look at one more. If we were to start on an A, and we're asked to go down a diatonic semitone, we're going to end up on a G sharp. Okay, we've gone down a semitone, we've changed a note name, gone down one note name in the musical alphabet. Since we're at A, we go down one note name in the musical alphabet, which is looping around to the top of it back to G. Okay, so those are diatonic semitones. Finally, we're going to look at whole tones. So a whole tone is defined as two semitones put together. So when we start on a note, let's start on the G, below middle C. If we are going up a whole tone, we're going up two semitones and changing one note name in the musical alphabet. So in this case, two semitones up, we go from a G up to a G sharp, from a G sharp to an A. So writing a note that is a whole tone above a G will be an A. We've gone up two semitones and one note name. Let's take a look at a couple more. If we were to start on an E, we're asked to go up a whole tone. We have to go up two semitones. So there's one semitone to F and another semitone, which will take us to F sharp. Now it's not a G flat because we're only going up one note name. So we go up the two semitones and one note name and we arrive on an F sharp that is a whole tone above. Okay, let's do two more examples. If you are given an E flat and asked to go down a whole tone, you would go down one semitone to a D and two semitones to a D flat. Again, we only go down one note name and we move two semitones. One more example. If you start on the F in the bass clef and you're asked to go down a whole tone, again, let's count out the semitones. There's one semitone to E and two semitones taking us to an E flat. We've changed one note name down in our musical alphabet. So we'll write in a note that is a whole tone above an F, which is an E flat. So there we have tones and semitones.